Okay, welcome once again to LagosTUG User Group meeting, or popularly known as LagosTUG. And I believe that anywhere you see this yellow background on LinkedIn or on Substack or on X, you know that this is LagosTUG. And today we are zeroing in on something amazing, another amazing topic. And we are looking at work smarter in Tableau, tips, tricks, and design we use for maximum productivity. I know most of us will probably want to know the tricks to some things, the tips to some things, and also how to reuse certain maybe calculations or designs and what have you. And in today's session, we are going to be looking at that. And we have two amazing speakers. We have Alexander and we have Charlotte. So, a bit about us. We want everyone to join us in LagosTUG because we believe that we are building something extraordinary and inclusive. We are dedicated to supporting people who are enthusiasts, Tableau enthusiasts, both in Lagos and Nigeria at large. We would always say that we are Lagos by name and but Nigeria at heart. So whether you're in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria, we are looking forward to helping you walk through your journey as a Tableau professional. And our mission is to connect all Tableau users of all skills from beginners to expert level, foster an environment where members can share knowledge, network, and also grow their data visualization skills. We are committed to promoting data-driven decision making and showcasing the talent and innovation within the local Tableau community here in Nigeria. So you can scan the barcode and that will take you to our page on Bevy. The Lagos Tableau User Group leadership is a community in its own right. Like we have several teams making all of these beautiful things happen, starting from the co-leads to the speaker team, to the newsletter team, to the event team, to the social media team, and the WhatsApp team. So these are the Lagos Tableau User Group leaders. My humble self, Omokende Ayodeji, to Gbolahan Adebayo, to Maureen Okonkwo, to Idris Akilapa. And we have the speaker team. These are the guys ensuring that every Lagos meetup, we have people to come open our eyes to different aspects of Tableau to help us to see different things about Tableau. So we have Maureen, we have Stephanie, and we have Michael making all of this magic work. And down to the newsletter team, we have a newsletter that goes out every month, and we are currently looking at the Spotlight series, where we spotlight people in the local community here in Nigeria who have had like some vis of the days, one or two vis of the days, and we just want to ask them certain questions like what prompted them to think in that direction, how did they make their decisions based on the kind of visuals to put out, the color schemes, the color psychology, the text hierarchy, and all of those things. These people are the ones making it happen. They are the ones sourcing for these talents, interviewing them, putting everything together so we can have an amazing read. And we have Bolaon, we have Mayokun, we have Omolara and Idris on this team. We also have the events team. Like, for example, you were able to RSVP for this event. We have this amazing duo making it happen. And if you ever come for our physical event and you eat some smoky jollof rice and all of those things, Udrak is your lady. Udrak is the one making all of those small chops happen. So, yes. And then we have the social media team. We're making awareness for our events. We're letting you know the things that are happening in and outside of the LagosTUG. These are the people making it happen. Myself, Israel, Jonathan, Aliu, Ella, and Olaleko. All of these people ensure that LagosTUG is presented to you on our socials. And we decided to have something in-house, and we moved our community to WhatsApp, and these are the people making it happen, where you drop your visits for feedback, questions, help on calculations. These are the people ensuring that the community stays lively. We have Toby, we have Jennifer, we have Abdulwarit, and we have Jamil, all making everything on WhatsApp happen. And for this meeting, of course, we have ground rules, and our ground rules are very simple. We want you to interact with people, say hello, interact in the comment section, type what you think about what the speaker is saying. Who knows? You might just find someone who thinks exactly what you're thinking, and you can network from there. Also, we want you to ask questions. We're going to open the Q&A session. We want you to ask your questions, and those questions will be answered live at the end of each speaker's session. Last but not the least, we want you to learn and have fun. So maybe you just want to listen through and you're bothered about, oh, can I come back to, get this information again? We got you covered. All of these things will be on our LagosTUG YouTube channel. So you can always check us there. And if you registered for this event, of course, if you're here, you registered, that means you're going to get the recording in your email once it is ready. And to the business of the day, we're starting with Alex, and Alex is a data analyst at Data Embassy. Is going to be walking us through design we use in Tableau for productivity. Alex is a veteran data analyst and a visualization expert with a particular interest in efficient design techniques. As a prolific blogger with more than 250 posts filled with tips, tricks, tutorials, and templates, he has been a Tableau social ambassador since 2016 and has worked primarily in the finance and high-tech industries. So he's familiar with data sets in the domain of information security, sales, marketing, server logs, and process management and beyond. Alexander is extremely familiar with Tableau desktop and data preparation, and that's why he's our guy for today. He's also a top contributor to the Tableau community. Wherever he works, and he likes to share and help Tableau user group. Thank you, Alex, for all you do for the community. And we also have Charlotte, and she is a data visualization specialist and a freelancer. She's going to be taking us through the topic tip. Hooray! Right? We're going to be looking at Tableau tips. Charlotte will be walking us through all of those beautiful tips. And Charlotte is a data visualization specialist from the UK. She is a two-time Tableau ambassador and also the co-lead for the UK healthcare Tableau user group. Outside of work, she enjoys theater, the countryside, and equestrian sports. So over to you, Alex. I'm going to start sharing my screen so Alex can take over.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's really a great honor for me to present to the Lagos Tableau user group. It's amazing. I didn't imagine your group has 200 people and and more, yeah, and you guys seems to have a great team with multiple functions. That's very impressive to me. Yeah, impressive. So yeah, the title is Design Reuse for in Tableau for productivity. Yeah. Well, just a little introduction for myself. From last year, I got a title as Tableau Visionary Hall of Fame. That's for anybody who has 5 years of being a Tableau visionary, and then they give just a nice title, Hall of Fame. Yeah. I've been working in Tableau since 2013, 14. Yeah, I was looking for a job, and at the time, and I just learned all the Tableau, the business intelligence stack, which is at the time I learned Microsoft, their BI product, and I couldn't actually find a job because too many people knows they know how to do that. Yeah. And then I found that in some of the job postings, they are asking for Tableau. Okay, I say, hey, what is Tableau? Yeah, I just download it and try it. Oh, and I was hooked. Yeah. So then it was pretty easy to find a job after 3 months, and then the rest is a history. Yeah, since then I have been working in the field. Yeah. Okay, so the conclusion I show you guys first. Yeah, this is yeah, it's very simple. That design reuse is for productivity. And also I want to suggest you guys to make a collection library of reusable modules. So in the future, you can use them again and again in your career, in your practice, in your design. Yeah. And I would also show you guys that any public dashboard, any dashboard you can find could be a chart type, a template for you to use in your design. Yeah. Okay. Actually, today I just want to give a review of all the possible reuse that I know. So there's in Tableau they embedded a lot of functions to actually help us, people like us, to reuse them. Yeah. Maybe you guys already know some of them, but probably you don't know all of them. So I want to give a review so that you guys can learn and see what is possible to help us reuse. Well, yeah. Picasso has this great quote that means to be great in anything you do, you want to be able to borrow or steal better for the better, of course, legally. Okay. Tableau has this great design. Well, as a product, it is kind of open source. We can always open a dashboard and to see how it is designed. It's kind of like an open source. So it allows us to learn, okay, and to copy. Yeah. So why reuse? Okay. Well, of course, design productivity, and to be further in detail, that is, it allows us to leverage our collections of designs that we already have, and we, of course, it's all over the internet or in the data farm. So we can leverage the creativity from other people, from other data farm members. Yeah. Avoid reinventing the wheel. Avoid the complex calculations and formatting, and save time, right? Yeah, and minimize design errors. Okay, yeah, just by copy and paste as much as you can, and also by using the existing designs, we can come up with more dashboard creations. Yeah. So that's for design proliferation. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You can also share your designs. You can create a collection of designs within your team. Okay, so because when you are in a team or in a company, they may have a certain requirement of consistency, company logos, even company official fonts, etc. Yeah. So you can reuse those things, of course, yeah, as much as you can. So here are all the kind of layers of things, element of the designs that's already in Tableau. And I will explain how we can. Well, I want to explain the function of reusing them. Okay, how to duplicate a field, a calculated field, etc. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with copy a formula, right? A formula, you just write the calculated field. Yeah. You right click on it, you will see duplicate. Yeah. So I think you guys have already seen it many times. Yeah. Or you probably use it many times as well. Yeah. You can duplicate a formula, a calculated field, and then you change the dimensions, the element, the variables in that formula to apply to create a new formula, basically. Yeah, but with the similar calculations. Some of the formula are very complex. Yeah. So and we cannot. Well, when in a formula editor, we may not have a replace all. There's no replace all, actually. Yeah. So when we cannot do this, right? We can actually copy and paste to basically open a new workbook, and by replace reference there, right? And the copy and paste back in the original workbook. So that's the trick of replace all, because in a complex formula, for example, sales is being used many times within a formula. Then, but now we want to use this formula for profit, for example. Yeah. Then we have to change sales one at a time and many times to change it, to create the same formula for profit, for example. Yeah. It can be time consuming to replace one at a time. Say there are 10 instances of sales in the one formula, right? So to replace it, we have to do it 10 times manually, if we do that manually. However, we can copy and paste it to a new workbook and do replace reference, and then copy and paste back to the original workbook. Yeah, this is yeah, for design reuse. Well, for data source reuse, so we can always right click and we see a menu and duplicate the data source. The good thing is for some of the data source, there is a setup connection to some database, to a server, right? All these parameters, yeah. So by duplicating, we don't have to do it, right? We can copy already the connections in the data source and for a new data source. Yeah. But between, for example, if there's a data source there, we already set up a data source, but we want to use it in a new workbook. Yeah. So there's no copy and paste for data source. So the way to do it, to how to copy one data source to another workbook, it is just to create a simple chart in the workbook, right, with the data source in question, right? And then copy the sheet, the worksheet, to another destination workbook, and that way we copy the data source to. This is the way we copy the data source to a new workbook. Yeah. It's kind of like a duplicate, but yeah, but it's reuse that data source. Okay, yeah, because the data source can be complex. We show the setup to the server, right? We have to fill the address, the username, stuff like that. And we could also, for data source, it can be, because in the data source setup, there could be some join, some noodle kind of chart there. We may not want to redo them, right? So we just copy the data source in this way to a new workbook. Yeah. And the formatting, right? Yeah. It can be painful to to set up formatting, like the font size, color, shade, etc. Yeah. So if we want to keep the consistency of our design, so we want to use the same formatting in a, say, new workbook, and Tableau allows us to do that. Okay, so you see in Tableau there is a function, okay, called the copy formatting, and then yeah, so we can use it. Well, this is actually at the lower tab of the sheet. Right click, and you can see copy formatting. Okay, container. This may be not used as much, but I just want to mention it for the completeness. Yeah, so I want to mention it here to you guys. The containers can be copied and pasted as well. Yeah. So for a container with content, with say some content, only static, non-data driven container can be duplicated. What does this mean? So if a container, it has a text sheet or a image sheet there, it can be or empty. Okay, or empty. There's nothing in the container. Then it can be duplicated, and just use Control C and Control V. Why do we want to do that? Okay, so here's an example. Yeah. So here, yeah. So this is my way actually to to kind of sketch a dashboard. Okay, yeah. So this is just a template I use, and this is how I start design a template. Yeah. So you see, I can design. Here's the initial design. So I have 5 KPIs. I want them all on top, and then it's a sales. It's a bar chart, sales trend, profit trend, etc. Yeah, I have so many charts, and this is a layout, a initial layout for my dashboard design. Yeah. So all these are accomplished by using containers. Okay, yeah, this is actually before they published a new feature, that is the round cornered chart, or round cornered sheet, right? So yeah, I use the trick. Yeah, that's to create round corner containers. Yeah. So anyway, so this is how I start a project, a dashboard project, and by designing the layout. And for a new design, I can copy this layout, which are created using containers, multiple containers. Yeah, and I copy this to a new workbook. I may change some of the element. Maybe this time I just have 3 KPIs or 4 instead of 5, or I may have 6 more KPIs, right? So I can add them or remove a few of them, etc. Yeah. But this is a template that I can reuse. Yeah. So here are static kind of sheet or content. So they can all be copied and pasted. Yeah. If it's a chart, it's a bar chart or something like that, it won't work. Yeah, it cannot be copy and paste a chart that is data driven already. Yeah. So all these are static content, and it can be easily copied and pasted. Yeah. To a different sheets in the same workbook, or to a new workbook. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So sheet reuse. About the reuse of a sheet, we can either duplicate it within the same workbook or copy, okay, from the sheet tab that's at the bottom of the workbook, and choose copy. And then we can paste this to a different workbook, okay? So this could be a trick to copy the data source to a different workbook. Yeah, we copy the sheet because the data source is part of the sheet, right? Yeah. So that's how we copy not only a sheet, but also its data source and its formatting as well. Okay, yeah, we can do that. So, okay, so here are the probably one of the 2 most important reuse of Tableau. Yeah, that is how to recreate, how to copy a chart. Copy a chart could have a few nuances, right? Yeah. So the purpose, okay, one can be just copy the same chart, uh, well, we use it as a chart type, okay, to use it in a different workbook. Yeah. So, but within a different context. That means using a different data source. Okay. Tableau already gave us a very useful function that is replace data source. Well, we have to be careful here is we want to either modify the dimensions and the relevant dimensions and the matrix to be the same, to be identical to be of the chart and the new chart and the new data source. Yeah. Wow. So we have to be careful there. Otherwise, the replace won't be successful, right? So, yeah. And the replace reference, yeah. Probably you guys, it's in the menu. Okay, it's in. So, okay. Where is it? Oh, okay, replace reference, right? So here, this is, for example, here, for this chart is for sales, right? Yeah. So, but I want to have exactly the same kind of chart for profit. Yeah. So how can we do that? So theoretically, we need to replace the reference. Okay. So here, and for profit, yeah. If I do it here, it will, okay. So it will change all the reference to sales to profit. Yeah. So then it changed the workbook. Yeah. So how do we do that? You know, we want to have the same chart for both sales and profit in the same workbook. So here is what I do. Okay, so I copy this sheet. Okay, and start a new workbook. And paste it. Yeah. And And here I can replace sales, okay, and by profit. Voila, yeah. So here's profit, and this is a chart now for profit. So yeah, and then I can copy it back, okay, to this workbook. Actually, I have already done this. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So I just copied that sheet, and then now let me paste it here. Yeah, paste it here. Yeah. Voila. So this is for profit, and this is for sales. So it's better we change it. Change the name of the worksheet, and this one accordingly. Sales. Yeah. So you see, well, this is what I did. You know, my previous design. Yeah. So let me. I think. Yeah. So this is about. Yeah, this is a profit actually. Profit. So the formula is changed. Yeah. Yeah, it's profit ratio because it involves sales element. Yeah. Anyway, so this formula probably doesn't really make sense because for profit, it won't have a profit ratio. Yeah. So this doesn't really make sense. Anyway, it's just an example of how to use a chart for a different metric, yeah, for different to reuse it for a different usage, right? Yeah. So we can forecast the sales here. We can forecast the profit without doing much, without doing starting over, right, from scratch. We can already take advantage of the chart. We like the chart and we want to use it for different metric. So just use replace reference. Yeah. So I just proposed recently. Well, you see, we have to open another workbook and copy it and paste it back stuff, doing exercise like that. I think there could be an easier way to do that. That is without doing that, without opening a new workbook, going back and forth. I made a proposal to made a suggestion to Tableau and suggesting that we should do that within the same workbook and doing something like that. Yeah, you can see that. So replace data source. Yeah. For example, in replace data source, we can replace for the current worksheet only. Yeah. So I suggest to Tableau that for the replace reference function, do the same, okay, for this worksheet only. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway.
Hello, Alex. You have about 3 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Okay. Uh, okay. KPI chart, funnel chart, replace reference for single sheet. Okay. I'm I'm basically done, and yeah, I would like to take questions if you guys have. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. And yes, we have questions. Uh, those are like really amazing tips on how to reuse things in Tableau. So the first question we have here says, when creating the simple chart to copy the data source, does it copy the whole data source by using just one measure and dimension?
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Uh,
means
reference is always one. Okay. It could be one dimension or one matrix, one measure at a time. But you can do it multiple times, right? You replace one at a time, and then you do another time. You change another variable. Okay.
cool.
So
Okay.
mhm.
So the second question says, which is my own question. I know I saw two profit calculated fields, but I wanted to be sure. So let's say, for example, I created a KPI sheet and I had like calculated fields, say maybe current year, previous year, and the rest of them. And I copied the sheet and pasted it in a new workbook. Will the calculated fields also come in alongside the data source?
uh, so you said you. So the question is, you copy it to a new workbook,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the data source will go with the sheet because it's a part of the sheet, and then there you can add a new works. You can add a new data source and then replace that data source with a new data source. Is that something you want to
Also,
do or what?
so I'm asking like all the calculated fields are created before, will they also follow the data source or will it just be the data source alone?
Oh, just the data source that is being used in that worksheet.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that
so
is be
much.
yeah. You copy to a different workbook, and whatever data source is being used in that worksheet will come over with that data sheet, worksheet. Yeah, with that worksheet.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. This was an amazing session. Like I was just saying, wow, 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 alongside like a police siren. Like, thank you so much for showing us how to reuse stuffs in Tableau. If you don't mind, can you please stop sharing your screen?
Share my screen. Okay.
So you can just stop sharing.
Oh, stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are moving on to Charlotte, but I just want to show everybody uh where am I just now? Okay, yes. I want to show everybody again. So this is Charlotte, and she will be the one. The next voice you're hearing after my voice is going to be Charlotte's voice. So Charlotte, the stage is yours. Take it away.
Hi, thank you. Let me get the screen. I want to share that one. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen. It says tip tip hooray. Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm from the UK. I have worked in the healthcare industry for all of my career. Currently on sabbatical, doing a bit of learning, a bit of research, a bit of stuff before I dive into my next role. If you want to connect with me, you can. Here's a QR code that will take you to my LinkedIn page. So yeah, always happy to connect and say hello to new people. But you're here for tips, so let's get into a few tips. I'm going to hide this bar there. I'm going to go on with some data source tips first, because that's where we all come to first, isn't it? Our data source. So I want to share with you a few little things that you can do to make data source a bit easier for you. So we all know the typical way of connecting to a data source. We can go through it through the data source pane. We can go to the data tab up here and add new data source. But we can also just drag and drop a data source. We don't even have to go into the data source pane to do that. We can just pick it up from wherever we've got it saved. So here it is here, picking it up, and I'm just going to plop it on top here, and it will take me straight into the data pane where I can do my connections and everything else that I need to do with it. Just come back out of that. The next is how to replace a data source. So we all sometimes need to do this. A data source has been updated. Maybe we've gone from development to production, and we just need to update that data source. But we all know as when you do that, things tend to go a little bit crazy wrong. So here's a little dashboard I've got. Don't look at it too hard. It's all fake and it's not very good. But I've connected up here to a data source. So let's go to my data source window. And I want to add in my new data source, so I can drag and drop it like I've just shown you. So we'll do that. Drag and drop. It's added data new there. And if I want to just replace that, I can just go over the top. Oh, it won't do it. And now, yeah, everything is got a bit wrong. It's all got exclamation marks on it. What we need to do instead, this is at the logical layer. If we double click into this data and come down to data at the physical layer, we can drag and drop data over it, and it will just replace our data like for like, no dramas. And if we go back to my dashboard, you'll see the numbers have updated, but everything stayed the same. All the formatting stayed the same. All the calculations have stayed intact. So that is a nice little tip to switch out data sources. Now, saving your extract. So we all know that when we get to our data source pane, we've got this live versus extract connection at the top. So I am up here, if you can't see where I am. Obviously, there's the pros and cons of doing a live versus an extract. But if you're publishing, you'll need to do an extract. What I'm going to tell you now is not to extract just here. Connect all your data up and then come back to your worksheet. Save your workbook. Come to save as. Save your workbook not as a TWB, but as a TWBX. Save it. And then extract your data. Come down to your data and extract data. What this does is it will not save that hyperfile anywhere. So you've just saved a little bit of, I don't know, admin space. You don't have to go looking for a hyperfile or anything. It's all just contained now that you've just saved before you've extracted. Some things in the data pane then. Did you know that if you've got a lot of things in your data pane, it can be a bit, looking through it, you might not always find what you're looking for. If you've got your field that's already in your view, you can click on the little white drop down arrow, or you can right click on it and come down to this option, find in data pane, and it'll find it in data pane and highlight it for you. You can also search the data pane, so we can search for sales and it will bring sales up. I can search for quantity, it will find it there. So 2 different ways of finding your field that you want to find in a busy data pane. You can also filter the data pane. So if you want to filter it by calculations, you can. So these are all the calculations that I've added in or that have been added in. You can filter it just by dimensions, by measures. You can do a lot of filtering there. And if you're a bit old school and you want to view your data pane by folder, you can flick it between group by folder or group by data source table. So again, you can have 2 different ways of viewing your data down here. Next, we've got the data. Now what? So I want to show you a quick little tips here for just making life a little bit easier once you've got your data in, perhaps before or during your Tableau build. You might want to do these things. So date properties. We all live in different time zones. We all have different customs. And what we might want to do is make sure that our date properties align with the country that we are building data for. So if we come up to our data pane, if we right click on our data source, we can come down and we can click on date properties just here. When we're in date properties, we can change our default calendar. We can go from the Gregorian calendar to the ISO calendar. I don't know the difference. Apparently there is a difference. We can change our start week. This currently looks like it's set up to be America, but we don't start in Europe. In Europe, we start on a Monday. So I can change my week start to a Monday. Can change a fiscal year start. Where I used to work, our fiscal year started in April. So I'll put it in April. And date format. If I want to keep my dates always looking the same, I can update my date format here. I like to have my day, month, and my 4-digit year. So I will add that there. And that's it. That's your date properties updated. That will be for your country. And that will just make it nice and easy going forward when you're dealing with dates. Talking of dates, when we are using them on a chart, we can obviously pick up our date from the data pane, drag it over to columns. It will aggregate up to year. We can split it out like that. But then we can go and we can click how we want to view it by right clicking or going to the drop down. So if I change that to month, we can do that. But I'm going to save you a couple of clicks and a couple of steps by simply using your mouse, by using the right click of your mouse. So right click on order date, hold that right click down, drag order date up to columns, and you'll get that option up for you, and you can choose month, and it just saves you a few extra clicks. And I have to say, since I was shown that by Andy Kriebel, that has just become second nature to how I now put pills on my columns. Did you know we can also create really quick LODs? So if you are still struggling with LODs and you don't quite know what to do with them, or you're not quite sure where to put your curly brackets or anything like that, here is a super quick way, courtesy of Tour 11. If we've got sales and we want to know the sales, we've got sales on here already, and we can see them sales over time. But what if in my data I want to put in my title up here, I want to put a band in there that's got the total sales for this period? What I can do is pick up sales. And again, we're going to use a little trick here, a keyboard trick. We're going to use our control button. Hold the control button down. It's different on a Mac. I don't know what it is on a Mac. Somebody, I'm sure, will know what it is on a Mac in the chat. Hold your control button down. Pick up sales. Pop it. Oh, hang on. Expand product. Pick up sales, hold it over the top of category. So category becomes highlighted. And that. And now you'll see I've got a new calculated field that it's created for me called sales by category. And if I edit that you'll see it's made that fixed LOD for me, curly brackets, everything in the right place. So if you're struggling a little bit with fixed LODs, just try that little trick so you can then start to understand the calculation and how it works. You can also edit your aliases. So if I go into category, for example, I can right click on category and come down to aliases here on the menu, open aliases up, and we can see this is what comes in through the data source. And this is the alias. Currently it's aliased as it is in the data source. But what if I want to call technology just tech? I can change that alias, and you'll see that there's been a little star added in this has alias column. And now forever in your data set, technology will be known as tech unless you clear the aliases, which of course you can do. And did you know that you can drag calculations around? So if, like me, you have a little notepad full of useful Tableau calculations, you might keep them and want to add them into Tableau from time to time. Well, instead of adding multiple calculations at a time, we can just add them all in one. So I'm going to open a calculation window. I'm going to come down to the pane. I'm going to copy in just some really boring calculations. They're nothing special. You see, obviously it doesn't work. That's fine. But what we can do now is highlight a calculation, drag it into the data pane, and you'll see it's created the calculation profit ratio demo down here. And if I edit that, you'll see it's exactly what I had typed in. The calculation that we did. And you can do the same with the others. Just drag it in. And then you can just cross out of that. So that's a really neat way if you're copying calculations from one workbook to another, or if you've copied some calculations from the web, from someone's blog or anything, you can just drag them on like that. Having the two dashes in front just here is really important. That creates the title. But while we're just on it, the two dashes in here is how you can remark out stuff. So anything that's written after the two dashes on the same line is remarked out. They won't take it into account in the calculation. It's similar to, if you're used to SQL, it's similar to the two dashes in SQL. And as in SQL as well, SQL also, Tableau Calcs also will have the star slashes to remark out blocks of text as well. So there's little bonus things about what you can do in calculations with remarking out things. Quick idea, I've done that one. Default properties. So we've got everything on one, yeah. Default properties. So here I've got 3 bands just in a column. Not the best way to display bands, but don't worry about that. This is just for demonstration purposes. What I'm going to do now is show you just a really quick way to, these are all should be currencies. So these are all values that is monetary. So I want to make sure that they are all formatted as such. Now, what I can do is go into each of my pills here, format, come up here, go to currency, make it, to take the pennies off. I can do that for all 3, or I could come to my data pane. I could find my fields. So I've got my sales, I've got my profit, and I've got my discount. I'll hold down my control key again. I will pick up profit and discount. So now I've got all 3 of my fields highlighted. I will right click or click on the little drop down arrow, go to default properties, go to number format, and I can now format these numbers. I can go to the currency, I can change that. I can even change the suffix from the English pound if I wanted to. I can make it the Nigerian naira, which I hope I've said right. I looked it up. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So you can see there we've changed those. This one will still say pounds because I've overridden it here. Now, when I want to use discount or profit on another sheet, because I've set the default properties, it will always show show those values in the naira, which is pretty cool. We can also default format some things using the format option up here on the very top. If we click format and go down to workbook, you've got some options here that you can apply to your whole workbook as a whole. So you can change all the fonts if you don't use Tableau Book. You can change it to whatever your company, whatever you choose to use. You can change your worksheets, your tooltips. If you want your tooltips to be a bit bigger, you can change the color, the style. You see here, I've changed my worksheet titles all to be my nice blue color that I like to use. But you can also change your grid lines here. So your grid lines on your, if I go to, okay. So I've got a chart here. I don't know whether you can see the grid lines on your screen, but these have the horizontal grid lines on it. I don't like grid lines on my charts. So I can come here to the lines, and this will format the whole workbook. So I can say, I can turn my grid lines off and say, no grid lines for me, please. I can turn my 0 lines off because I don't like them either. And that will apply to the whole workbook. So just a little tip if you don't like fiddling around with your grid lines on each and every chart. So that's my formatting. Sorting, lots of ways to sort. We all know you can sort, here's just some of sales by states. We can sort, and you'll notice here, look, the sales have all come through with the Nigerian naira, on there because I've formatted that at the data source level in the data pane on my previous page, so it's remembered and it's carrying it through. That was just a side note. So sorting, we can sort down here next to the sales. We can turn that on, sort descending, ascending, put it back to how it was. We can sort up here at the rows level by going to the state and sort. We can sort by a number of different things. We can sort by data source order. We can make it stick to alphabetical no matter what anybody does. We can make it by field, in this case, the sum of sales, and we can change that around. And another way to sort as well is just above our rows and columns. We have the sort ascending and sort descending up there as well. So there's 3 little ways to sort. And did you know you can also, next to the sort, there is the swap rows button. So if you don't like this as a bar chart, you would much rather a column chart, you can just hit that switch rows and it will switch the columns and the rows around. And clear worksheet. If you've seen this chart and go, no, that's rubbish, get rid of it. Instead of taking everything off, we can just come up here and click clear, gone, forget about it. On to my next tip. This tip is from the Flurledge twins. It is whenever you have a ban, does it annoy you that you get this blue box when you click on it? Because it annoys a lot of people. And there's 2 tips that the Flurledge twins gave us at Tableau conference this year. One is to change the mark type of this. So currently it is on automatic. It is displayed as text. It is the mark type. On the marks card here, we can see that. But if we change it to a shape file, let's put a lovely circle around it, and that's not very good either because you can kind of still click on the circle. But what if we make this a transparent shape? So we click on shapes, just here, more shapes, and we can go, and I've got a lot of files in my shape file. Oh, it's downloading my shapes. Give it a moment. It's downloading them from the cloud, but you'll have to trust me on this. You can add to your shape files whatever shapes you like, and you can make your shapes however you like. You can use, PowerPoint to, make your shapes. You can use all sorts of things, or you can do like I did and steal them from the Flurlage twins. So if I come down here, I should have somewhere in here. It's still downloading them, but I've got some transparent shapes, and you can just pop a transparent shape on there. Oh, I saw it just a minute ago. Where did it go? Transparent shapes, and obviously you can't see them, but they're there because they're transparent. But yeah, select your transparent shape, apply it. That's gone, and you cannot click on it. So that no more blue square, and it's not clickable anymore. Another little tip is, instead of using your transparent shape to fix your ban, you can actually do this trick with the caption. So I've got my ban here. What we do is we go to the text card, expand that out, take our text and cut it. So Control Exit, so it's gone. Apply that. It's gone from there. But if I go to caption below, and if you don't know how to turn caption on, come up to worksheet at the top and go down to show caption. That will turn the caption on at the bottom. I'm going to double click in the caption to change it. I'm going to Control V, what I've just pasted, or what I've just cut from text, pop that in there, and now I've got that in my caption. And when I come and pop it onto my my dashboard, you'll see it's a blank. It is my ban caption fix object. If I come here and pop caption on, you'll see it down there, and then you just need to resize until it's sort of in the middle. And there is a caption without the clicks. A ban without the clicks, sorry. How are we off at time? Okay, yeah, I've got time for a few more. Map tips. Everybody likes a map. These might be my last ones, these map ones, because we are running out of time. Okay, so here's just a field map of the United States. Nothing special about that at all. Nothing on it but the geography. But I just want the United States. I don't want to see Mexico, and I don't want to see any of Canada up ahead, up above it. So what I can do is, if I go to maps, background layers, it opens up the map background layers on the left hand side. And you can just untick all of these things, but who's going to do that? Who wants to do that? And we can just wash out to 100%, and it's all gone away. And all you've got now is the outline of the states. That, of course, doesn't work if you do want to see some of the geography of the United States behind it. But yeah, if you just want the shape of the states, that's perfectly fine. In the map options, at the moment, I can zoom in and do whatever I want with this map. But if you don't want if you don't want your end user to accidentally scroll right in on whatever state this is, Missouri, you can right click in this and come down to map options. In map options, you have the ability to turn off all of these things, including allow pan and zoom, view the toolbar, get rid of that, don't allow it to search. You can just take it all off, make it all go away. And now I'm scrolling, nothing. You have to trust me that I'm scrolling, nothing's happening. I can't do anything to zoom in. I can't even zoom out and put it straight now because I've removed that. Another cool little tip that Tura gave us was that you can make little stately glyphs with state on detail. That's very important. If you remove latitude and remove longitude from the rows and columns, you'll now get, just resize them, you'll now get little glyphs of all 50 states. And this isn't just applicable to the states, you can do it with your own geography. So you could pull out your map of Africa, and you can have all the African nations in little glyphs, and we can do it with Europe as well. So just a really neat little, don't know what you do with it. He didn't know what you do with it, but you can do it. And it was kind of neat. And I shall leave it there because I think we are at 17:45, and that's when I was down to finish.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Like those are very amazing questions. Um, so we don't have any question on our Q&A, but then I think everybody loved the fixed LOD tip you showed us. Like that was so amazing. So I know that worked for fixed. Do you think there is something that can work for maybe exclude or include LOD? Have you
No, so it was a tip I stole from someone else. I don't think it would work for those. I think it only works just to make that top figure.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much. Really, this has been a very insightful session from Alex's reusable stuffs in Tableau to all the tips that Charlotte has showed us today. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you, Charlotte, for coming to share with us all of these things. I have learned so much, and I believe everyone here also they've learned something. So thank you for attending, and really see you in August. We're going to be having our next event in August. And remember that we are building something supportive and inclusive for the Tableau enthusiast community. And our mission is to connect all Tableau users of all skills level from beginners to experts, and to foster an environment where members can share knowledge, network, and grow their Tableau visualization skills. So follow us on X at LagosTUG, follow us on LinkedIn at Lagos Tableau User Group, on YouTube at LagosTUG, and on Substack at LagosTUG. And we will see everyone again next month for another exciting event.
Thank you for having me. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you, guys.